The last poem that I'm going to read is a sonnet corona, and it is a 11-part sonnet series. In Harriet Washington's book, Medical Apartheid, she talks about the idea of the medical plantation. During slavery, this was just one case. This was just one documented case, and during slavery, there were many doctors who did this. They used slave bodies to basically experiment on and to boost their careers, essentially. And so the idea of the medical plantation is that instead of traditional crops, what yielded was, these discoveries based on slave bodies, and that is what allowed these doctors to, it was their livelihood. What yields? This poem too is in the voice of Anarcha. I just chose one of the slave women. She's the one who endured 30 surgeries, documented surgeries, and so I chose one voice, her. What yields? The day we were born, we belonged to you. These clay sculpted women, yours. There is no respite to offer. Such exquisite wrongs do remain. Our vulvas, the future you wrote against the back of your hand. Born to be seen by you, we are the bodies you strive against. The triangle axis gleams. It is June, your glinting silver blade new. You, slick as butter. So yours. We wonder if the saliva in our mouths is still ours. We're denied water to protect sutures. My parched tongue circles for wisps of spit. You could leave me this one thing. Thief, all night you drink water from my body. All night you drink water from my body. You sneak from your bed, taking the worn way towards the wood shack over the chickweed and white clover. We call it shack. You say hospital. You stop bedside and full of need, you straddle me, squat down, your haunches hovering low, graze my throbbing vulva. You claw the back of my neck so my head falls aside like a pansy. Then you call for the water in my body to rise. Come up, you sing. Dizzied and stunned, I watch it rising like so many beads of wine. In the mornings, I am bare, I am shut. I am dead where I lie, already plucked. I am dead where I lie, already plucked. Yet all afternoon, sir, I have risen up out of this whiteness. Out of its touch I come, and though my mind is dim, I will say no, split your trembling lip by my refusal. I've been longing to see the rush of blood to your mouth, your pink lie distended, the flush of blood to your cheeks. I've been reaching for the surface to show what my fists can do. My eyes reach for you out of reach. I am too much to feel, too impossible to be known. All afternoon, you slept in down, snug against your wife's dove back. Bodies above virtue are never black. Bodies above virtue are never black. Sprawling dewberries grow along your fence. Since most days we are hungry, we take them, fill hemp sacks we hide against our hips. When each bite unravels in our mouths, we imagine a sweeter history and more hope than you could ever allow. Desperate, we gorge on dewberries, the heady berries, and our molars slow grinding drown out the distant cries of thief. Crushed berry over berry over berry, this joy, the closest thing to love. Sated, we hide the blue-stained sacks again. Our eyes blink back the river to be lost in. Your eyes blink back the river to be lost in. You clutch your elbows, pacing the sick room, walled with basswood. 11 beds sinking like monuments into a red clay floor. Our bodies taut in their sheets, locked in place, calculating your restraint. We keep our breath, waiting. Then you begin your complaint. We aren't trying to heal. Unchecked urine in our wet beds instead of the waste pail. Piss compromises the stitches, and we know it. And how many times must you tell us to lie still? You leave us. There will be no dosage today. The held cries lift. First, you have to consider us women. First, you'd have to consider us women. Realize our hearts beat under the bush. You'd have to think my heart longed like yours, and that my mind wasn't mindless, awash with nothing. I am a hot, quaking body, prime material subject. To you, I am only worth what can be gleaned. And you would have to know I meet the pain how your wife would. Imagine her, blushed, pink frame, gap-legged like a birth-slick colt, quaking. But you cannot hold both of us in mind at once. My ability to bear is immeasurable. Pain discriminates. Material subject. I am rabbit. Material subject. I am rabbit. I skitter the path to Crooked River, scratch up the perfect stones and carry them to my litter, and when they clamor to nurse, their soft-seeking nostrils nudging my teats, I beat their bodies stoned against the rocks. I trample crushed red skulls, dash, panting blood into the grass, their buff fur bodies set in an array of poses, the weeds bowed down, draining blood that will not cry out. My babies sink into the ground, drowning. I am only fit to be without. I swallow the last stones. Your shadow looms. Now the whole earth has turned to look at you. Now the whole earth has turned to look at you. And we see the gray hair curling out of your nose. We nod off like pine trees as you stitch. Always sighing, you hover over us. Fool, we know you will never be done, though you promise it will work this time. We've grown wiser to your kindness. We watch you thread our missed days and nights. Your needle unmends our seams. Silk, catgut, you should have known the catgut would fester. How careless can you be? Did your dumb mama drop you dumb, you smug, reckless thief? The whole earth can hear you breathe. Even the clouds agree we're dead where we sleep. Even the clouds agree we're dead where we sleep. Between sleep and waking, my gaze follows yours as you scan the room of destiny. Picking through the moss of your mind so carefully, you decide who you will heal today. Your hair has grown gray right above the ears. You could be a wren standing near, shifting foot to foot in the door, nervous. You pull out the notes from your leather bag, reading and murmuring through surgeries, failures, the almost bore against our backs. Every note marked becomes the symphony you compose, and yes, we will render it. We are rotting fruit, yet our bodies yield. We are rotting fruit, yet our bodies yield. How easily we yield to you, for you. We slide into our poses, blossoming. You examine our stalks for blight, mildew, and rust. One morning, your eyes examine the field, and we are ripe. Through 16 seasons, you have tended us, kept us tilled and well drained. You've cultivated after each rain and sowed crimson clover in the rows between us. Not one boll weevil has stained our leaves. With care, you have nourished the soil, and now the time has come for you to claim the crop that you've sown. Your harvest will be, we must yield, even if you lie to reap. We must yield, even if you lie to reap. Untuck the lie from the roof of your mouth and set it free. If you write it, it will be. It will set right the frown on your wife's lips. Make it worth it. Is it worth it? Her unspoken question. She doesn't see what wealth can be gained from digging into an empty woman. She never believed it was mending when she heard wails sound their way up to the house. Sounds like rabbits dying, she'd said, but never fixed her mouth to help us. Write history. It will be. Try out the words in your mouth. We're healed. The day we were born, we belong to you.